Let me tell you something straight up. If someone had told me marriage came with surveillance, midnight footsteps, and a full-time undercover agent disguised as a sweet old mom, I would have laughed in their face. But hey, life's wild. And mine. It turned into straight-up reality TV chaos the moment I married Jason. And trust me, I didn't sign up for this mother-in-law FBI undercover mission bullshit. But before I get ahead of myself, let me hook you in, because what happened inside that house. Yeah, it's the kind of story people binge on like their favorite Netflix drama. So sit tight, because this is the story of how my husband's mom, yes, my mother-in-law, made it her full-time job to spy on us every damn night. Not exaggerating, not being dramatic, straight facts, every night, every whisper, every soft conversation between me and my husband. She was right there, at the bedroom door, eavesdropping, and if you think I found out gently, absolutely not. I found out the hard way, at 2:17 a.m., during a conversation that no mom on the planet should ever be hearing. But let me rewind a little, because this story, it didn't start with the eavesdropping. It started way before that, with something way darker. The night we moved into Jason's family home, I swear I felt something off. It wasn't the house, it was huge, modern, and kinda cozy. It wasn't Jason, he was sweet, excited, and acting like the place was Disney World. It was her, his mother. She hugged me too long, smiled too wide, said, "Welcome to the family," in a tone that felt rehearsed. A little too warm, a little too friendly, like those people who smile while planning your murder. But I shook it off. I wanted to be the good wife, the chill daughter-in-law, the one who didn't judge. Oh, honey, I should have judged, because later that night, our first night there, Jason and I were unpacking in our bedroom. It was late, like 1 a.m. late. We were tired but laughing and teasing each other, talking about stupid stuff couples talk about. When suddenly, soft footsteps, not loud, not clumsy, just slow, careful, almost practiced. I paused. Jason didn't notice. I walked toward the bedroom door, quietly, pressed my ear gently, and damn, someone was standing right on the other side. Not moving, not breathing loudly, just standing, frozen, like they were glued there. I whispered, "Jason, someone's outside." He checked. The hall was empty. I thought maybe I imagined it. Maybe the house creaks. Maybe I'm paranoid. But I wasn't. I was just early, because the real nightmare hadn't even started yet. The second night, same thing. Third night, same thing. Fourth night, worse. We'd be talking about our day. We'd talk about work. We'd talk about plans, dreams, money, bills, anything. And suddenly, mid-sentence, I'd feel it. Someone listening. A presence. A shadow. A stillness right outside our door. At first, I didn't want to be the crazy wife. I didn't want Jason to think I was paranoid or dramatic. But on the fifth night, my Mill didn't just listen. She got caught. It was around 12:40 a.m. Jason was lying on the bed, scrolling through his phone. I was brushing my hair, sitting right in front of the mirror. We were talking about something pretty personal, something intimate, and suddenly I heard a soft creak outside the door. This time, I didn't hesitate. I rushed to the door and yanked it open so fast it slammed against the wall. And guess who was standing there? Yeah, her, Jason's mother, frozen, eyes wide, face pale as a ghost. She looked like a kid caught stealing cookies, except she was a grown-ass woman listening to married adults talk at midnight. I swear I could hear her heartbeat from 3 feet away. I said, "Can I help you?" Her eyes darted around like she was picking an excuse off a shelf. Oh, I was, checking if you two needed water. At 12:40 a.m., standing silently at our door, without knocking, without saying anything. Bullshit. Jason stood up, confused. "Mom, why didn't you knock?" She swallowed hard. I didn't want to disturb you." Oh honey, she was disturbing us. I didn't buy it for 1 second. Not even half a second. Jason gently guided her back down the hall, told her everything was fine, and came back to the room. But I wasn't fine, not even close, because the next day, it got even creepier. Morning came. Jason went to work early. I stayed home, working on my laptop. When I walked past the hallway, I noticed something small stuck under the edge of our bedroom door. A tiny mark, a scratch, almost like someone had pressed their ear there so often it left a little dent. I got chills, real chills. I leaned closer, and I heard her humming in the kitchen like nothing was wrong. That's when it hit me. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a one-time weird moment. This was a habit, a routine, a ritual. She was listening every night, every conversation, every laugh, every whisper, even the private moments a married couple should never have to worry about. I felt violated, like our marriage wasn't ours anymore, like she was inside our relationship, watching, listening, judging, controlling, and I knew, tonight, I was going to catch her again. But this time, I'd be ready, and she wouldn't escape. That whole day, my brain was spinning like a damn washing machine. Angry, confused, creeped out, I kept replaying the moment I yanked the door open and saw her standing there like some midnight ghost caught in headlights. And you know what pissed me off the most? Jason didn't take it seriously enough. He brushed it off like, "Babe, she probably just needed something. She's harmless." Harmless, yeah, sure, because totally normal people stand outside your bedroom at 1 a.m. listening to you talk about personal things, right? But I didn't argue with him. Not yet, because I already knew. Tonight, everything was going to reveal itself. Not by accident, not by luck, but because I was done pretending it was innocent. I needed the truth, and I was gonna get it. So that evening, I played it cool at dinner. I smiled. I laughed when she made those passive-aggressive comments. I acted normal, like I didn't know she'd basically become a nighttime hallway surveillance system. But inside, I was plotting, and I swear, she had no clue. She just kept smiling at me with that overly sweet, Stepford wife energy. Like she knew everything that happened between us last night. Because guess what? She did. When dinner ended, Jason went upstairs to shower. She and I were left in the kitchen washing dishes. That's when she slipped. Not with her words, but with her tone. She said, "Some conversations are better saved for daylight. Night makes things louder, louder, louder." My whole body froze. She knew exactly what she was referring to. I forced a smile. "Oh yeah, what do you mean?" She scrubbed a plate a little too hard. "I just think married couples should keep things decent. Especially in someone else's house." Oh, so now she was policing our married conversations. Nah, hell no. But I didn't react, because I knew confronting her now would ruin my plan. So I kept acting sweet. Sweet enough to make her think I bought her concerned mama bullshit. But by the time I walked upstairs, my blood was boiling. Jason was on the bed, towel around his waist, scrolling TikTok like some clueless golden retriever who had no idea there was a whole psychological war happening in this house. I sat beside him and said, "Hey, let's talk." He looked up, smiling. "Yeah, babe." I lowered my voice. "Your mom was at our door last night." He sighed. "I told you, she probably." I cut him off. "No, Jason, she was listening, and I'm gonna prove it tonight." He frowned, confused, hesitant, but he didn't argue. That's when I knew he wasn't ready for the truth. But I was. At around 11:50 p.m., I started setting the trap. Step 1. I slid a tiny piece of tissue under the bottom of the bedroom door. Barely noticeable, but if anyone pressed their ear there, it would shift. Step 2. I put my makeup mirror on the dresser facing the door. From the bed, I could see the reflection of the crack under the door. Step 3. I turned off the main lights and left only the lamp on, just dim enough to keep the reflection visible. Jason watched me like I was planning a robbery. "Babe, this is crazy." I looked him dead in the eyes. "What's crazy is your mom listening to our conversations every night." He didn't respond. He couldn't, because deep down, he knew something was off too. At 12:22 a.m., it happened. We were pretending to talk casually, purposely saying things soft enough to tempt her closer. I said something like, "Jason, what if we move next month? I don't want to stay here forever." And boom, not even 30 seconds later, I saw a shadow, right under the door, slow, creeping, inching toward the tissue. My heart dropped, not in fear, in pure anger. Jason saw the reflection too. His whole face changed, like reality slapped him across the soul. The shadow moved closer, closer, until the tissue lightly crinkled. She was pressing her ear to the door. Again, at midnight, listening like our marriage was a podcast she subscribed to. Jason whispered, "Oh my god, babe, you were right." No shit, I was right. My hands were shaking, not from fear, but from holding back rage. We waited, and she didn't move, at all, just stayed there, frozen, listening for every word. That's when I'd had enough. I stood up quietly, walked to the door like a damn thunderstorm on legs, and yanked it open again. And there she was, in that ugly pink robe, hair messy, eyes wide, looking like she got caught breaking into a bank vault. I didn't yell, didn't curse, didn't go crazy. I said calmly, "Do you need something?" Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. She looked like a malfunctioning NPC in a video game. Then she whispered, I thought I heard something." I stared right into her soul. "Yeah, our marriage, not your business." Jason stood behind me, silent, humiliated, shocked. His mom took a step back. "I'm your mother-in-law. I have a right to." "A right to what?" I snapped. "To invade our privacy, to spy on us, to listen to us every night like you're doing security checks." She flinched. For the first time, she looked guilty. Scared even. Jason finally spoke. "Mom, why are you doing this?" That's when everything cracked. She whispered, "I don't want to lose you, Jason. Lose him. To WHO. To me, his wife." That's when the truth hit me so hard it felt like ice in my veins. She wasn't just nosy. She wasn't just controlling. She wasn't just weirdly attached. She was obsessed, possessive, emotionally clingy in the most toxic way possible. Jason stepped toward her. "Mom, I'm married now. You can't do this." She shook her head, tears forming. "You don't understand. When you talk to her at night, when you laugh with her, I feel like I'm losing you." Holy toxic. This wasn't about the conversations. This wasn't about the house rules. This wasn't about noise. This was about her wanting her son for herself. Like I was the intruder, the competition, the enemy, and the most horrifying part. She wasn't done yet. After she walked away, crying dramatically like she was in some soap opera, we shut the door. Jason sat on the edge of the bed, burying his face in his hands. "I can't believe this," he said. I sat beside him. "We need boundaries." Little did we know, boundaries weren't enough, because that night, after she got caught, she didn't stop. She got worse, much worse, and the next part of the story. Yeah, buckle up, because what she did next, it didn't just cross boundaries, it burned them to ashes. You'd think after getting caught red-handed at our bedroom door in the middle of the damn night, twice, she would chill, right? Nah, not this woman, not this level of toxic, not this brand of, my son is my entire personality energy. Getting caught didn't embarrass her, it didn't shame her, it didn't make her stop. If anything, it triggered something worse, because the next morning, yeah, the house felt different. Colder, tense, almost like she declared a silent war and I was the target. She didn't talk to me, didn't make eye contact, didn't ask Jason anything, just walked around like a shadow floating from room to room. But I could feel it. The anger, the resentment, the possessiveness boiling under her skin. She wasn't done, she was planning, and I was about to find out just how far she would go. Around noon, I walked into the kitchen for coffee. She was standing there, wiping the counter aggressively like it personally offended her. I said, "Good morning." She didn't look up, just said, not even a word, just a sound, a disgusted, irritated sound. I took a deep breath. I wasn't going to start anything, but then she muttered under her breath, "Some women don't respect a mother's place." "Excuse me." I turned slowly. "What did you say?" She didn't look at me. "Nothing. Bullshit." The kitchen practically vibrated from her attitude. I smiled. "Fake as hell. Listen, I don't want any drama. We just need privacy, that's all." She slammed the cloth on the counter. "Privacy, in my house. Oh, so that's how she wanted to play." "Yes," I said calmly. "In your house, where your son and his wife live. A married couple deserves boundaries." She scoffed. "Boundaries don't apply when it comes to my son." Woo, okay, so now she was openly declaring emotional ownership. I didn't yell, didn't break anything, didn't even roll my eyes. But I said one thing, one sentence that popped the fantasy bubble she'd built around her son. "Jason is not your husband. He's mine." The silence that followed, dangerous, heavy, cold. She looked at me finally, and I swear, her eyes weren't just angry. They were almost hateful, like I'd stolen something from her. She whispered, "You'll regret saying that," and walked out. Damn, this woman wasn't just toxic. She was on a whole supervillain arc. Later that day, Jason came home from work early. He'd clearly been thinking about everything from the night before. He sat beside me on the couch. "Babe, I talked to Mom. I told her she can't listen at our door anymore. She promised she won't." I almost laughed. Promised? Really? Did he not live through the last 48 hours? But I didn't argue, because you can't wake someone who's pretending to sleep. Instead, I said, "Baby, we might need our own place soon." He nodded. "I know, I'm looking at rentals." Thank God he was starting to see reality. But right when things started making sense, his mom entered the room. Eyes puffy, face red, fake tears ready to go like she'd practiced crying in the bathroom mirror. She sniffled dramatically. I'm just trying to be a good mother. And now my son wants to leave me because of her. Jason sighed. Mom, it's not like that. But she cut him off. Oh, but it is. She's turning you against me. There it was. The classic narcissistic playbook move. Jason tried to calm her down. Mom, no one is against you. But you can't eavesdrop. It's weird. She gasped like he slapped her. Weird. You think your mother is weird? He rubbed his face. I didn't say. I heard you. She screamed. You don't want me here. Either she goes or I do. Oh my god. She was giving ultimatums now. Over what? Us wanting to talk privately like literally every married couple on the planet. Jason stood up. Mom, stop. No one is leaving. She looked at me, not him, like she wanted to burn holes through my soul. And then she said something that didn't make sense at the time, but would change everything later. She whispered, if I can't protect my son, then I won't let anyone else ruin him either. I frowned. Ruin him? What are you talking about? She didn't answer, just walked away, but something about her tone, something about those words, chilled me, and that night, everything became painfully clear. Around 11 p.m., Jason fell asleep early. He was exhausted from the drama, emotionally drained. I stayed awake, scrolling my phone in the dim light, trying not to think about his mom's weird behavior. But then, around midnight, I heard it again, not footsteps, not breathing outside the door. No, something else, a soft clicking sound, like someone twisting metal, like something turning. I froze, sat up, listened carefully. Click, click, click. My heart dropped. It was the doorknob. Someone was trying to open our bedroom door. Not listening, not standing outside. Actually, trying to come in. I turned the lamp to the lowest setting. The room glowed faintly. Jason didn't wake. He was out cold. I stepped silently toward the door, walked closer, closer, until my ear hovered over the wood. Click, click. Then suddenly, the knob turned all the way down, like someone was trying to open it but couldn't because it was locked. I whispered sharply, who's there? Silence, but I felt the presence. I gripped the knob from the inside, held it tightly, like that would stop whoever was trying to invade our space. And then I heard it, her voice, low, creepy, almost whispering through the crack. Jason, honey, are you awake? My stomach twisted. Oh hell no. She wasn't doing this. I said loudly, he's sleeping. What do you need? The voice shifted instantly, from sugary to venomous. I wasn't talking to YOU. What? She was trying to get him to open the door. At midnight, alone, like I wasn't even there. I swallowed hard. Stop touching our door. This is inappropriate. She hissed, literally hissed. Don't tell me how to talk to my son. Then the knob twisted again, hard this time. She was trying to force it open. That's when Jason woke up. He sat up groggy. What's going on? His mom immediately softened her voice. Jason, sweetheart, I need you. I snapped. No, you don't. Go to bed. She ignored me completely. I had a nightmare. Please open the door. Jason rubbed his eyes. Mom, it's midnight. I need you, she repeated. This woman seriously wanted her married son to come comfort her like he was still 10 years old. Jason finally got out of bed, walked over, unlocked the door. I wanted to scream, don't, but I stayed silent. The door opened slowly, and there she stood, hair messy, eyes desperate, breathing shaky like she'd been crying. Except it felt faked, planned, performed. She grabbed Jason's arm like she owned him. Come with me, please. Jason looked at me, conflicted, confused, trapped. Mom, I'm with my wife. Can't you? She snapped. No, you come with me now. Her voice shook, but not from fear. From anger, possessive anger. Jason sighed heavily. I'll be back, babe. Just give me a minute. He followed her down the hall, and as I watched them disappear, something in my heart sank. Because this wasn't normal. This wasn't motherly love. This was obsession, control, an unhealthy emotional grip so tight it was suffocating. And I knew, this wasn't the end. This was the beginning of something darker. Something twisted. Something I never expected a mother-in-law to be capable of. And what happened the next day? Yeah, that was the moment I realized she didn't just want to spy on us. She wanted to break our marriage. On purpose. And she wasn't afraid to play dirty. I swear, that night felt like my nerves were being pulled like guitar strings. After everything that happened in the kitchen, after hearing my mother-in-law call me manipulative for defending my marriage, I was already drained. But when we walked into our bedroom, the whole energy felt wrong. The door was slightly open. Not wide, not pushed, just enough to show someone had been standing there again. I froze, and I whispered, babe, did you leave this open? He shook his head instantly. No, I closed it myself. That's when my heart sank. Because I knew exactly what that meant. She had been there, again, listening, trying to catch something, trying to twist something, trying to paint me as the villain in my own damn marriage. I walked over, closed the door slowly, and for the first time in my life, I actually locked it. Not because I wanted to keep his mom out, but because I needed to keep my peace in. The moment the click of that lock echoed through the room, my husband exhaled like he'd been holding his breath for weeks. He sat on the edge of the bed and rubbed his face. I don't know what to do anymore, he whispered. It's like she's not even trying to hide it. I sat beside him and held his hand. Listen, couples go through stuff, but this is not normal. Your mom is crossing lines every single day. We need boundaries, babe. He looked at me, eyes heavy. If I don't set boundaries, she'll think she runs this house. But if I do, she'll act like I betrayed her. And that's when I said something I knew he wasn't ready to hear, but I had no choice. Then she needs to feel betrayed. He jerked his head up. What, babe? I said softly, you're a grown man. You're married now. Your mom doesn't get access to our bedroom, our conversations, our marriage. And if she feels betrayed, because you're protecting your wife and your privacy, then that's her issue, not ours. For a moment he just stared at me, then he leaned in and kissed my forehead. You're right, he whispered. I'm done letting her control my happiness. He reached over, grabbed the TV remote, and turned on some random show, just so we could create some white noise because honestly, my anxiety wouldn't let me relax in silence. But guess what happened not even 5 minutes later? A soft tap, on the door. My whole soul left my body. I looked at him, he looked at me, and he mouthed, don't say anything. We stayed completely still. Another tap, and then, her voice. Beta, why did you lock the door? Are you guys okay? I swear to God, I almost laughed out loud. Okay, yes. Privacy, also yes. Her boundaries, non-existent. My husband stood up, took a deep breath, and opened the door just an inch, just enough so she couldn't peek inside. Mom, we're fine. We just needed some privacy. Please don't knock like that at night. Her face changed instantly, like someone unplugged her fake smile. Privacy, from ME, she snapped. You never talked to me like this before she came into your life. And there it was, the guilt trip, the victim card, the classic, I'm the mother, how dare your wife be a human with feelings. My husband didn't fall for it this time. He spoke calmly but firm. Mom, I'm married now. Things change. Please respect our space. She looked like he slapped her with a dictionary. I see, she muttered. So now your wife comes first. He didn't even blink. She's my family. She is supposed to come first. She gasped dramatically like she was auditioning for a soap opera, then stormed away. I closed my eyes and whispered, thank God. But he wasn't relieved at all. Because neither of us knew. This was the moment everything would blow up. Because for the first time in her life, someone told her no. And some people, especially controlling parents, don't take no like a boundary. They take it like a personal attack. That night, we finally tried to relax, but around 3 a.m. I woke up thirsty and went to the kitchen. And that's when I heard her talking on the phone, loud whispering, angry whispering. He listens to her now. She turned him against me. She's ruining everything. I won't let this woman break my home. I froze behind the doorway. She wasn't talking like a concerned mother. She was talking like an enemy plotting something. And the scariest part, she wasn't planning to adjust. She was planning to fight. And I had no idea. The next morning, she was going to make her first move. The next morning, something felt off the second I opened my eyes. It wasn't the usual tense silence. It wasn't her dramatic sighs echoing from the kitchen. It wasn't even the passive-aggressive teacups clinking like she was sending us Morse code messages. No, it was worse. It was quiet, like that creepy quiet before a storm when the sky looks normal but the air tastes dangerous. I walked out to the living room and my stomach dropped. She was sitting upright on the sofa, hands folded in her lap, smiling sweetly, too sweetly, the kind of smile you give right before you announce something insane. My husband was already sitting across from her, shoulders stiff, jaw locked. He looked at me like, brace yourself. I sat beside him slowly and she cleared her throat like she was about to deliver a speech at a wedding she wasn't invited to. I've decided, she began dramatically. I'm going back to my hometown for a few days. I swear, I had to stop my eyebrow from raising all the way to God. Her, leaving, on her own, voluntarily, impossible, and the way she said it, too calm, too controlled, I knew something was off. My husband tried to keep a straight face. Mom, that's fine, if you want a break. She cut him off. Oh no, Beta, I'm not going for a break. I'm going to think very deeply about how this house has changed since she came. Deep breath. I wanted to scream, but I didn't. I just held my husband's hand under the table. She continued, staring straight at me like I had committed a federal crime. I'm a mother. I raised you. I sacrificed my whole life for you. And now suddenly this girl comes here and puts locks on doors, tells you to argue with me, creates distance, emotional separation. I almost choked. Distance. Lady, the only distance we wanted was between her ear and our bedroom door. But she wasn't done. I will go think, she said softly, pretending to be heartbroken, and I will decide whether I still belong in this home. Because clearly, I'm not welcome anymore. Hook moment, her voice cracked just enough to feel staged. My husband sighed. Mom, no one said you're not welcome. Oh really? She snapped. Privacy, locks, whispering, the two of you hiding things from me. She looked at me again. Dead in the eyes, cold, calculated. I raised a boy with manners. And now it feels like he's slipping away. Before either of us could respond, she stood up, grabbed her purse, and walked toward the door like some tragic drama queen. Don't try to stop me, she added. I need time, alone, to think about what my son has become. He stood up halfway. Mom, she held up her hand sharply. No, I'm going. And then she left. Door slammed. Silence. And only then did my husband collapse on the couch like someone unplugged his whole soul. I sat next to him and whispered, you okay? No, he said honestly. She's making it sound like I abandoned her. Like I'm choosing you instead of her. I held his face gently. You're not choosing instead of. You're choosing correctly. There's a difference. He gave a weak smile. But inside, I knew he was hurting. Not because she was leaving, but because she was doing what she always did. Emotional blackmail, guilt trips, victim card, manipulation with a capital M. But here's the thing, we didn't know it then. We had no idea that her little, I'm going for a few days, wasn't a break. It was a strategy, because while we thought she was cooling off, she was actually fueling up. She wasn't done. She was recharging. She was preparing to come back. With a plan. A plan to split us apart. A plan to make my husband question me. A plan to twist every situation. And that plan would start the moment she returned, and trust me, she didn't come back alone. She didn't return for 4 days. 4 unbelievably peaceful, shockingly quiet, beautifully normal days. No drama. No footsteps outside the bedroom door. No passive-aggressive throat clearing. No, Beta, come sit with me, every 15 minutes. No surveillance-level monitoring of our conversations. I swear, the house felt like a luxury Airbnb. My husband slept better. I slept better. We actually talked openly without whispering. We cooked dinner together without her, accidentally, appearing behind us. It was like someone lifted a 300-pound emotional weight off the entire apartment. But peace never lasts long in Daisy households, right? On the 5th evening, around 6:45 p.m., we heard the door unlock. Slowly, dramatically, like a villain entering a movie scene. My husband looked up at me with wide eyes. She's back. Yup. Game over. The door swung open and she stepped inside wearing this dramatic shawl like she was returning from a spiritual pilgrimage. Her expression, cold, stiff, not a tear, not a smile, just calculated silence. But she wasn't alone. Behind her walked in, her sister, the gossip queen, the drama amplifier, the ultimate instigator. I felt my stomach drop. This wasn't a casual visit. This was an ambush. My husband stood up, confused. Kala, you're here too. Kala gave this fake sweet smile. Yes, Beta, I came to support your mother. She's been very upset. Oh boy, here we go. His mom sniffed loudly, touching her forehead dramatically like she was fainting. I told your Kala everything, she said softly, looking at him like he broke her heart, and she agreed that the way I'm being treated is not right. My husband blinked. Mom, no one treated you badly. She gasped loudly, like he slapped her with air. Really? So I imagined everything. I imagined being shut out. I imagined being disrespected. I imagined being isolated. I imagined the locks. Here we go. Rewriting history, level 600. Kala stepped in like backup singer number 2. Beta, mothers feel things. Your wife should learn how to respect elders. A home runs on respect. I swear I almost laughed. Respect. From the woman who spent half her life eavesdropping on newlyweds at 2 a.m. My husband rubbed his face. Kala, with all due respect, this is between me and Mom. No one disrespected her. Kala smiled like a snake tasting the air. Sweetheart, she told me everything. How your wife talks back, how she tries to control you, how she keeps you away from your own mother. I stepped forward calmly. Kala, with full respect, that's not true. Kala raised one eyebrow like I was a toddler arguing with Einstein. Oh, so your mother-in-law is lying. Damn, this woman came prepared. But then, his mom played her biggest card. Her voice suddenly turned quiet, dramatic, trembling. Beta, I didn't want to tell you but, she said she doesn't want me in this house. My eyes widened. My husband froze. Complete lie. A bold-faced, Oscar-worthy lie. I stepped in. That never happened. Kala cut me off. Of course you'll deny it. Girls like you always deny. But mothers don't lie about their pain. And I swear, the way she said, girls like you. Like I was some villain in a soap opera. Something snapped inside me. But before I could speak, my husband surprised me. He stepped in front of me. Firm, strong, protective. Kala, Mom, enough. No one is disrespecting anyone. But I won't let you twist things about my wife. His mother gasped again. There, see, she has already turned you against your own mother. She didn't turn me, he said. You pushed me. Kala looked offended like he insulted her entire bloodline. His mom burst out crying, clutching her chest dramatically. You don't love me anymore. I am just a burden now. I should have stayed in my hometown forever. Maybe you two will be happier without me. Classic weapon. Emotional blackmail 101. But before we could respond, she continued. I made my decision. From now on, I will live here. But I will not speak to either of you. Kala nodded proudly like they just passed a secret family exam. I blinked. What? She looked at me sharply. I will live in silence. In pain. In my room. And I will pray for my son's happiness. But I will not talk to you until he realizes how wrong you are for him. Holy, manipulation, mother-in-law, Olympics. My husband lost it. Mom, this is childish. She stormed to her room dramatically. Kala followed her like a cheerleader for chaos. The bedroom door slammed. The silence afterward. Scary. My husband sat on the couch holding his head. She's going to make our lives hell. I placed a hand on his shoulder. No, she's going to try, but we're going to stay a team. He looked at me with tired eyes. But we didn't know. We really didn't know. Her silent treatment wasn't silence at all. It was strategy, preparation, building pressure, waiting for the right moment. And 2 days later, that moment arrived, and it flipped our entire marriage upside down. For 2 days straight, the house turned into some weird psychological experiment. His mom didn't look at us, didn't speak, didn't cough, didn't complain, didn't even fake an injury. Nothing, just silence. But let me tell you, she wasn't quiet because she made peace. She was quiet because she was planning war. And honestly, the silence was worse than her talking. It felt like living with a time bomb that smiled politely and served chai. Every time we'd walk past her, she'd look away dramatically like we were ghosts. If we laughed in another room, she'd slam a drawer. If we cooked, she'd accidentally open cabinets right behind us. Oh, and the best part, she started writing things. Yes, writing. On sticky notes. She'd stick them around the house like passive-aggressive fortune cookies. Notes like, a mother's heart is fragile. Respect is earned. A home built on secrets will fall. Light girl, are we living in a haunted house or a daily soap? My husband was mentally exhausted. He tried talking to her, but she'd just walk past him like he was furniture. And then, late on the second night, something snapped. The night everything erupted. Around 12:30 a.m., we were in bed, just talking, whispering, trying to keep calm, when suddenly, thud, then another thud, then, a loud, sharp cry. Ah, my back, my back. My husband jumped out of bed. Oh God, Mom. He ran out. I rushed after him. She was on the living room floor, dramatically sprawled like a fallen Bollywood hero. Her sister, yes, Kala was still staying overnight like she was auditioning for an award, was kneeling beside her. Beta, Kala yelled. Your mother fell. I think she fainted. My husband panicked. Mom, what happened? She held her lower back, eyes squeezed shut, voice trembling like a TikTok actress. I slipped. I was trying to walk to the kitchen to drink water and, dramatic inhale. My back, my spine, something cracked. I swear on everything holy. She was absolutely, 1000% faking it. But of course, she had the perfect audience. A worried son and her professional hype woman Kala. My husband tried lifting her, but she screamed like he stabbed her. No, don't touch me. It hurts. Mom, should I call an ambulance? Kala jumped in fast. No, no ambulance. She doesn't need hospital. She needs love. She needs her son. Translation. She needed drama, attention, control. My husband helped her sit on the couch eventually. She winced like she was doing a full Broadway performance. Then she turned her face away from me, making sure he noticed. I slipped because the floor was wet. Maybe someone didn't clean properly. Kala gasped right on cue. Oh no, that's dangerous. What if she had died? Then she turned to me. With all due respect, Beta, you should be more careful. Translation. Blame the wife. My husband stepped in. Kala, enough. This isn't her fault. His mom let out a dramatic sigh. No, don't fight. I'm fine. But her hand was on her chest, ready to exaggerate another heart attack. My husband looked torn, and that's exactly what she wanted. Then, she dropped the bomb. In the softest, victim-filled voice ever. I should move into your room, just for tonight. I can't walk much, and I shouldn't sleep alone. What if something happens? My husband froze. She looked at him with sad puppy eyes, then looked at me. Like she already won. Kala added, yes, Beta, she should stay close. In your room. It's the safest place. Are you kidding me? My room. Our room. After months of her spying through the damn door, my husband looked trapped between guilt and reality. She saw that hesitation, and drove the knife deeper. You don't want me there. You want me to suffer alone. His face broke. I stepped forward gently. Mom, the guest room is right next to ours. We can leave the door open. If you need anything. She snapped. No. I want my son near me. Only him. I can't trust anyone else. Wow. Okay. Message received loud and clear. My husband exhaled slowly, looking conflicted. And I realized, this wasn't about her back. This wasn't about pain. This was about dividing us. Creating tension. Making him choose. And then, hook moment. His mom pressed her hand over her heart and whispered, if you don't let me stay in your room tonight, I will know where I stand in your life. My husband sighed, looked at me with an apology in his eyes, and said the words I feared. Okay, Mom, you can stay in our room tonight. My whole chest tightened. She looked up at me, smirked so slightly that only I could see it. Victory. She won this round, but she had no idea. I wasn't backing down. Not in this marriage. Not in this war. Not in this house. Because this was the night that pushed me from tolerating her to fighting back. And the next morning, I finally stood up for myself. And what happened next shook the entire house. The next morning, I woke up alone. Our bed looked wrong without him there. Cold, empty, like his absence had a physical weight. I already knew where he was. I walked out quietly and saw the bedroom door across the hallway cracked open. Inside, his mom was sleeping peacefully, tucked in like a toddler at a daycare. Kala was on the sofa beside her, snoring like an old truck engine. But my husband, he was sitting on the floor against the wall, head resting on his knees, eyes open, exhausted. Like he hadn't slept for even a minute. My heart squeezed. I whispered, babe. He lifted his head slowly. And damn, he looked broken. Dark circles under his eyes. Hair messy. Shoulders slumped. Soul drained. He whispered, I'm sorry. I didn't want to leave you alone. I sat beside him on the floor. No, don't be sorry. I know she pushed you into this. He rubbed his hands over his face. I didn't know what to do. She kept crying, saying she'll collapse if I leave. Kala kept telling me she could stop breathing any moment. They literally blocked the door so I couldn't leave the room. I felt anger ignite in me. Not jealousy, not insecurity, just pure, hot, justified anger at the manipulation he'd been drowning in since childhood. He leaned his head on my shoulder. I'm tired, babe. I'm so tired of feeling like I'm choosing between the two women I love. I cupped his face and whispered, you're not choosing, you're balancing. I'm your partner. She's your mom, but she's using your love like a weapon. He swallowed hard. She said if I ever leave her alone again, she'll stop eating. I froze. That was it. The absolute emotional nuclear bomb. She wasn't just pushing boundaries anymore. She was crossing them with a damn bulldozer. I stood up. He grabbed my wrist gently. Don't fight with her. Please. Not today. I kissed his forehead. I'm not going to fight. I'm going to speak. He closed his eyes, worried, defeated, but he didn't stop me. Because he knew too. This wasn't sustainable. This wasn't normal. This wasn't love from her side. This was control disguised as fragility. This was emotional captivity. This was what Americans call a toxic parent dynamic. And I was done tiptoeing around it. The confrontation begins. I walked into the living room. She was awake now, sitting up with extra pillows like a queen recovering from a coronation. Kala was feeding her water like she was in the ICU. His mom looked at me, eyes half-lidded, milking the victim role. Good. Two can play at this game. I sat calmly on the sofa in front of her. Mom, how's your back? She replied with all the fake sadness in the world. Still hurting, but I won't complain. I never complain. Kala nodded vigorously. She suffers quietly. Suffers. Quietly. Since when? I kept my expression neutral. Mom, I need to talk. She sighed dramatically. If this is about me disturbing your personal time again. It's not. I cut in. It's about boundaries. She blinked, clearly not expecting that word. What boundaries? She snapped. I am a mother. I don't need permission for anything. Kala chimed in. Beta, you should respect elders. I raised a hand politely. Kala, I'm speaking to Mom. This is between us. Kala shut up, offended. I looked back at my mother-in-law. Soft voice, firm tone, no anger, just truth. Mom, I love that you love your son. And he loves you too. But the way you express that love is hurting him. She sat up. What nonsense. It's hurting him, I repeated calmly, when you guilt trip him. When you emotionally blackmail him. When you put him in positions where he feels responsible for your pain. She gasped. How dare you? He didn't sleep last night, I said quietly. Not because you were in pain, but because you made him feel like he'd lose you if he didn't obey. Her jaw tightened. Obey. What kind of word is that? I am his mother. No, I said softly. And that's exactly why he deserves better from you. Boom. Her face changed. Shock. Offense. Rage. Kala rushed in. This disrespect. I turned to her sharply. Kala, you don't live here. You don't get to fuel this. She froze. I looked back at his mom, voice steady as stone. We're married. We are partners. Our home needs peace, and privacy, and healthy boundaries. We are not pushing you out. She interrupted, almost yelling. You locked your door. I nodded. Yes, because that's normal for a married couple. Privacy is not disrespect. Privacy is healthy. She blinked fast. Married couples should include the mother too. I almost laughed, but I held it. Mom, no married couple in America sleeps with their mother in the room. No wife whispers because she's scared her mother-in-law is listening at the door. Her eyes widened. She didn't expect me to say it out loud. Kala was scandalized. You're accusing her. I cut her off again. I'm stating the truth. Then I leaned forward. Closer. Calmer. More serious than ever. Mom, you were welcome in this home. You were loved. You were respected. But you don't get to destroy our marriage because of your fears and insecurities. She swallowed. I continued. You don't get to force him to choose. You don't get to weaponize your pain. You don't get to fake injuries. You don't get to emotionally cage him. She stared at me, for the first time, not angry, not dramatic, not crying, just stunned. I ended softly. Love doesn't suffocate. Love doesn't control. Love doesn't spy. Love doesn't punish. And then the final line. If you truly love him, let him breathe. Silence. Not the fake silence she used as punishment. Real silence. Kala looked at her. Say something. But she didn't. Because for the first time, someone called her out. Not with shouting. Not with disrespect. But with truth so sharp it went straight through her walls. My husband walked into the room slowly. Mom looked at him. Then at me. And what she said next changed everything. The room was still, like the air itself was holding its breath. Even Kala, the drama amplifier, seemed frozen. Finally, his mom spoke. Her voice was quieter than usual, less dramatic, almost hesitant. I didn't realize, she started. Her eyes flicked to my husband, then back to me. I didn't realize how much I was hurting, both of you. I blinked. My husband froze. Did she just admit it? She continued, voice trembling slightly. All my life, I thought my love meant protecting him. But maybe I was smothering him instead. Kala gasped loudly, like someone just dropped a bomb in her living room. Yes, but, she started, looking at her sister for backup. Kala, not now, his mom cut her off. She looked straight at us. Not now. I need to fix this myself. The confession hung in the air. I could feel my husband exhaling slowly, tension leaving his shoulders. Finally, relief. I whispered softly, it's about time. His mom nodded, almost ashamed. I think, I need to give you both your space. Our house, your marriage, it comes first. Not me. I felt a chill of victory, but tempered with caution. I knew better than to believe peace would last long. Still, this was progress. The first real boundary. That morning, she voluntarily stayed in her own room. She didn't spy. She didn't eavesdrop. She didn't manipulate. Instead, she baked cookies. Yes, cookies. Her way of apologizing without actually saying the words. And when my husband and I sat together for breakfast, she gave us a faint smile. Not triumphant, not manipulative, just calm. It was a small victory, but a huge one, because for the first time in months, I felt like we could breathe. Over the next week, our marriage slowly started normalizing. We could whisper, laugh, talk late at night without fear. We could eat dinner without someone lurking outside the kitchen. And best of all, my husband finally began standing up for our boundaries consistently. His mom still tested limits occasionally, dropping subtle comments, passing, concerned, notes, or sighing loudly when she thought we weren't looking, but it wasn't the constant chaos anymore. We knew she was trying to find the edge. We also knew one thing. We wouldn't let her push us off balance again. And that's when I realized something shocking. This whole nightmare, all the spying, the midnight drama, the fake injuries, the emotional manipulation. It wasn't just about control. It was about fear. Fear of losing her son. Fear of being irrelevant. Fear that she wasn't the most important person in his life anymore. And you know what? That fear doesn't excuse her actions, but it explained them, because sometimes, the people closest to us are the ones who hurt us the most. And from that day forward, we finally decided, no more spying, no more manipulation, no more fear. We had taken our marriage back, and we weren't letting anyone take it again.